Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elias, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. Oh man, in the last episode, we were working on... What were we working on? We got the crystal clusters. We got all of the crystals that we needed for that. Still haven't processed all those because, well, the big thing is I'm going to need to go kill a bunch of the Gaia Guardians, and I just haven't felt like doing that, so I didn't do it. What else were we working on last time? We were setting up some automation for something. I actually don't remember. Wow, it's been a while since I recorded this, and I don't remember. We've got the Electro team going. What were we? Oh, right, we were working a little bit with the Awakened Draconium stuff, which I still need to fix that as well. This is intimidating because I don't know how to fix it for sure. Getting redstone timing and all that kind of stuff taken care of is just an absolute pain, but it is something I'll have to do. And just kind of looking around, we have a lot of work to do. There is a lot of different systems that are kind of just placed around. Eventually, I'll probably work towards kind of making them a little bit nicer. Awesome, that's exactly how many I wanted. And just kind of going from there. What are you? Saltpeter. Oh, cool. Niter. Was it something over here? I don't remember. Anyways, doesn't matter. Those guys are glitched currently. Don't touch them if they're like that. If they happen to do that, just don't touch them. But anyways, what we are going to be working on today is, well, some problems that we've been having for quite some time. So as you can see, I'm getting more reinforced stone. I will have to go to the spirit world to get more and more and more spawners. We don't need that many spawners. We do have a nice advanced solar panel, which is pretty cool. It's powering a lot of things. Is this guy like fully powered? He is. So that tells me that this isn't running currently. Nope. And yeah, we just have a lot of different things to kind of clean up around the base. But one of the big things, I think what I did was made the Draconic Sword. I don't remember. Anyways, one of the big things that we need to worry about is, well, the rest of this recipe. So a lot of the stuff in the middle is getting there. We need a lot of the UU matter so that we can get the iridium ore. We don't have quite enough for what we need. For the solar panel things, what are we going to need? Ultimate hybrids? Yeah. We need 9 of those. And yeah, we need a ton of iridium ore. So that's something that we'll have to kind of ramp up production of as well. For the most part, like with that, it's just going to be a matter of time. But for the rest of the energy cell, the creative energy cell, which is what we're trying to make, we need Draconium. We need a lot of Draconium. Everything else with the Draconic evolution stuff is not too bad. The Dragon Hearts are not that awful to get. They're a little bit annoying, but they're pretty quick and easy, all things considered. It's just a matter of dealing with the dragon, and I'm realizing that we're going to need a lot more Draconium than the dragon's going to supply. So we're actually going to probably end up moving this system. I'll get to that in a little bit. But then the other thing we need is the Galgadorian blocks. We need almost 30 of these, so I've been always just doing 30. And we have slime set up and blaze and obsidian, so those aren't too bad. Gas tiers we'll need to get taken care of, but then we're going to need diamond nuggets, or diamonds in general. And that's the other problem. So we need Draconium and we need diamonds. So we're going to start working a little bit on that. We're going to set up a couple of different systems to help with that and to augment what we already have. So yeah, we already have a system to get Draconium. That is this system right here, which is turning... we are taking redstone, which... what is the level emitter? Set at 5,000. Yeah, that's fine. We're actually a little bit low on redstone, which is okay because we have the witch spawner, so we can just activate the witches for a while, and that will help our cause of getting redstone. But so we have the lava fabricator making lava here. That makes the netherrack, which crushes it up and then sifts it, and we get some draconium from that. And that draconium we then can put into the QED to get draconium ingots. Not awful. We're going to want this stuff for like making draconium blocks and whatnot. But we're going to set up a different system using another method to kind of deal with, well, getting all of the draconium we're going to need for the liquid stuff. So when we want to make the, which ones are they? Is it the awakened cores? Let's see. The draconic energy cores require a lot of draconium. That's 5,000 millibuckets. What is a block even? A block is, yeah, so that's like 5 blocks, 4 blocks, 4.5 blocks. I don't know. It's a lot of draconium. And so that's not something we really want to have to deal with. We also need it for primal mana, which is not as big of a deal. And then the other one is just redstone, so that's easy enough. So this whole thing, we're going to move down here just to give us a little bit more space to work with, because what we're going to do is we're going to set up a automatic draconium farm. And it's going to be pretty inefficient, I'll be honest, but hopefully it'll work just fine. We're also going to set up, and this is where I've been kind of deciding, so how do we get diamonds? Well, obviously we could use a laser. We need like 5,000 diamonds. I would rather have this sit and just process, just to get diamonds, rather than having to process them ourselves and wait for random luck to give us diamond ore, which, granted, we're getting a good bit, but it's not consistent enough. And I mean, we could make this go faster, but it's super slow. So the other option is bees. We might end up doing something with bees later. I don't know if I want to or not. But the last option is, well, this. Agricraft, Dimala seeds. And that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to want a bunch of these guys. And these guys should be 10, 10, 10. We're going to honestly keep the plants here. And I'm not going to do all of this on camera, because obviously that would be kind of boring and whatnot. But if we take all of this diamond ore that we have... Oh, and some of these are unidentified. That's fine. I think we can still identify them if they are the clippings. I'm not entirely sure, but these are all 10, 10, 10s. And all we're going to do is just kind of, well, put them in our farm. Let's sleep to get rid of the rain. And we're going to start with that. So it's a fairly simple system to set up. And we're going to basically hijack some of the area that we've already set up, because we never actually finished everything over there. But before we do anything, actually, if we get a resonant servo should be fine, and we're going to want some impulse item ducts. We'll probably want a few more today. We might end up using some item conduits. Can I make 100 of those? No, but I mean, I could. I mean, I have the auto crafting. That's the important thing. So we have a bunch of these diamond nugget clippings. We can't. Oh well. And what we're going to do is pretty simple. We're going to head off to our gigantic farm out in the middle of the void. And this guy over here, we never actually finished placing all of the dirt and whatnot, because, well, we didn't ever really need to. We have plenty of food coming in, so I don't really see any reason to make this any more like compact or anything. So all we have to do, we have 100 blocks of diamonds. What we can do is just, well, break a bunch of this stuff, which I'll probably grab a hammer to do this. We put down our diamond blocks, rather a diamond ore, and we'll set this up to be diamonds. So I have a little bit of a storage. Now the only problem with this, and it's kind of a minor problem, but if we have this set up, let's go ahead and grab a couple of things. We have crop sticks. I don't know if that's the number we're going to need or not. Doesn't really matter. I can always bring more over. We're going to grab just a few and just put down some Dimala seeds. And that should be everything we need to do. Now, the only problem is, well, of course, it's not going to go anywhere. So once this gets around to harvesting, which this solar panel is more than enough to power everything over here, it's perfectly fine. So we'll see here in a second that this will get charged and all that kind of stuff. And I will probably just put a good number of... I'll probably just go to this row for the diamond seeds, and then if I ever want to expand on the chili peppers, we have space. We don't need to like have everything going. So are we getting any diamond nuggets yet? No, not yet. So once these grow, the problem is they're not going to have anywhere they can go. The harvester is going to collect them and all that kind of fun stuff. So that one is almost done. And it does take some time because the harvester has a fairly wide area. But once we get more up here, it will work just fine. And come on, grow. Do the thing. Let's just pop down here for a second. And I'm going to dump off some of this stuff. Because I don't need it currently anyways. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Anyways, we still have 12 mushroom clippings. Oh wow, yeah. We should have more than 12, but whatever. Anyways, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. But the idea is basically that... Okay, so this is fully grown, and eventually it will get harvested. The harvester should have the area effect. Yeah, increase 7. That should be more than enough to reach that. That's why I planned it like I did. And instead of like building another layer and doing all the stuff, I figured this would be easier. But here soon, this guy should actually do something. And I mean, it is working, so it's just, it takes a while sometimes. But the problem is, the diamond nuggets don't have anywhere to go. So there, it harvested, but it's going to put the diamond nuggets here because they have nowhere else to go. So what can we do about that? Well, pretty easily. This entire line runs down here and goes over to these 3 barrels. And so what we're going to do is, just to make things easy on ourselves, we're going to put that there. Lock this to the diamond nuggets, and we should see some diamond nuggets go here. We had 4 diamond nuggets in total. There's none there anymore. They are all right here, which is exactly what we want. And then what this line is, it goes to the tesseract. So all we have to do is put something like this. And is it laggy here, or is it just me? It's slightly laggy. And we do this, and this is just to make sure that it gets everything out as quickly as possible, and it will extract the diamond nuggets and send them back home. So all I have to do is fill up this area with the diamonds and all that kind of stuff. Let's just go ahead and put that there. And I will do that off camera between episodes, just because, well, I don't think you guys want to see me break a bunch of blocks and place them just to set up more diamond seeds. Now, I am going to keep the ones over here because why not? It's just going to be additional additional stuff. So yeah, that's the plan for that. Now, for the Draconium, and this is where things are going to get a little bit, well, inefficient. And this is also where I think item conduits might be our best course of action. One, let's go ahead and break this tree and grab all this stuff. Cool. So I guess for the time being, I'm going to put all the dirt there. Yeah, I want to take all of this stuff down because what we're going to end up doing is moving it down over here just so we have a little bit more space. We really don't need any of these animals anymore. Have a mind to kill them because do we need chickens and pigs? No. If we do, we'll get them another way. There's a couple ways to get them. And should probably grab our magnet. We will at least take the drops. Who knows? We might even get a soul out of it. We didn't, but we could have. So here's the thing that we're going to do. We're just going to get rid of all of this. One, I do want to make sure F7 is on so I can see dark spots. And we're going to set up the Draconic cores down here because of, well, we're going to make endstone. And we're going to crush endstone and do endstone things to get our Draconium for this guy. It is going to be a little bit more automatic because there's honestly less we have to worry about. Let's go ahead and put things like so. And yeah, hopefully everything works out well. And we don't have to worry too much about things. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, like, it's just about trying to get things a little bit more automatic than anything else. So we're going to need an automatic sieve. We're going to want to upgrade that fully. Unfortunately, there's not like any automatic. I was going to use, by the way, the barrels. I was going to use some of the upgrades for that, but I decided against it because I don't think we need to. Even if we do get a lot of the diamond nuggets, we're transferring them out fairly quickly, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to need a sieve, and we're going to need some import buses, export buses, and that kind of stuff. But mostly, I think we just need an import bus. But let me think about this for a second. We're going to need Draconium. So Draconium is what we're after. Let's just get that up. And to get Draconium, we're going to need endstone. Now, is there... I know there's the heavy sieves. Is there an automatic one? There is, but I don't want to use it. That's going to be more machines that we don't need. So we're going to want some speed upgrades. We're going to want, let's get like 128. No, not that many. 128. So we can get that crafting. And we're going to want some fortune upgrades as well. We're just going to want a stack of these. And this is going to be fairly expensive on power, not going to lie, but it should be fine. So how are we going to do this? So to get the Draconium dust, we're going to, there is this as well, but that is all with IC2. So we're going to be hammering Draconium ore dust. Now this is a different ore dust than the netherrack stuff we're getting. We're getting the netherrack stuff, which is from Another One Bites the Dust, and turns into, well, Another One Bites the Dust. This is X asterisk, so slightly different. It's a different mod. The good thing is that the broken ore, let me get the right thing, comes from crushed endstone, and it's a 7% drop chance. There's also a chance for platinum. We'll deal with that as well, but it's not as important. We'll filter that out into like a barrel or something, and just call it a day from that. We'll probably end up just putting that into the system, Whether we process it fully or not, I don't know. We could do other things with it. We'll see. Depends on how much we get. But in order to get that, we're going to need endstone. And crushed endstone comes from endstone. And endstone we can make from sandstone. And a fluid transposer with resin ender, which we have an ender pearl farm. I actually just turned that back on. That's something I'm going to want to kind of deal with. I don't want to have to stock this with coal, so we'll probably change the power system over there so that we might just put a tesseract. That might be easier. I don't know. Anyways, we have resin ender coming in, so that's easy enough. So we can get endstone from sandstone. That's pretty simple. We just need to get a magma crucible and a fluid transposer. And then we just need sandstone. Well, we can make sand from cobblestone. What is the best way to do that? I think because pulverizing gravel, pulverizing cobblestone gives us gravel, but if we sag mill cobblestone, that will give us sand. So we're going to want a sag mill. So let's get those machines. And then we're going to need a bunch of hammers. So we're going to need a sag mill, a fluid transposer, and a magma crucible. Actually going to need 2 of those, but we'll just get 1 for now. So we're going to need... Let's just make sure we don't have any of these machines. Okay, we're going to need a machine chassis. And we're going to need 2 of these. Nothing too major there. We have an octadic capacitor, that's good. And yeah, most of this stuff is pretty straightforward at this point. So it's just going to be a matter of getting it all. Yeah, we should just make a second magma crucible. So this is going to make one of the machine chassis. That will take just a little bit of time. But it's not too bad. And we can start getting other things set up. So we're also going to want some auto hammers. We already have one of those guys. Is this the... Which one are we using here? Oh, okay. Automatic hammer from X asterisk. Is that what we have? I don't believe so. No, that is the X compressium. So we're going to want a few of the automatic hammers. So, or hammerer. So we can make it out of Envar or dark steel, which I don't know why you would make it out of dark steel. So how many of these are we going to actually need? So we're going to need endstone. The endstone is going to be crushed. So from there, we hammer the endstone into crushed endstone. We could also use a pulverizer, but we're going to use a hammer because it's going to be simpler. So that gives us the crushed endstone. Now, we'll sift that. We get the Draconium ore. We combine that into ore gravel. And then we hammer that down. So we're going to want 2 hammerers, I think. 2 hammerers should be enough. And we can go from there. So let's get 2 hammerers. It's going to require 2 anvils. 2 pistons, which we might already have, and 2 weighted pressure plates. Wow, we need Envar as well. Let's go ahead and craft up like 100 Envar. And we're going to need 2 pistons. Alright, cool. So once we have the Envar, which we already do, I love having fast machines. There is the 2 automatic hammers that we're going to need. And let's see, we're going to need speed upgrades for both of those. I think we're just going to use half. I don't know. We'll kind of mess around with that. I don't know how many of those we'll actually need. And then the fortune upgrades for the sifter. So this is the part where I think using item conduits is going to be better. So let's make like 20 of those. We can handle that. And that will make things a little bit simpler just because we don't have to worry about servos and filtering things too badly. We can make it a little bit more compact. So do we have the machine chassis? We do. Now we're going to want 3 of these. And we are going to upgrade these probably fully. So sag mill, you're the first thing. We're going to need obsidian that's crushed. So 2 of those, and let's just make like 10 pistons. And I realize we need more obsidian. Let's just make like 20 of that. Why not? We're making infinite obsidian. It's not that big of a deal. So all we need is the obsidian to be done. This machine is just awfully slow. And that should be the sag mill. Now, we're also probably going to want some sort of cobblestone generator. And do we want to do this type? Or do we want to do something else? I mean, this is enough for a lot of different things. It's a little bit more basic, but do we have any other? So what are we using over here? We have a cobblestone generator. And this one is fully upgraded. You know, it's not that bad to make another igneous extruder. So let's go with it. So let's see. Let's get the sag mill. There's that. With the octadic capacitor. And then we're going to want another machine, I think. Let's make sure. Igneous extruder. Okay. So yeah, we'll need another machine frame. Okay. But I think what we're going to do is before we really kind of jump into that, I want to just set this up. So what we're going to do, because I'm going to upgrade those machines fully, I'm going to make them resonant, and that's going to take some time, making all of the gears and whatnot. It's kind of a pain, but whatever. Let's get this set up just kind of basically. So we're going to have an igneous extruder here that will pump into the sag mill. And what we can do is we can put those right next to each other because it doesn't matter. And this will push out... actually, I don't know. We'll have some stuff. Do I want to move this out one? Or what do I want to do about power? Where's the closest power line? None that's underground. So we either power things from the top or we bring in a tesseract. That would be kind of a waste of a tesseract, but would not look as bad. So anyways, it doesn't really matter. We are going to want a barrel with an upgrade, a void. So we'll just, or a drawer. It doesn't really matter which. Do we have any void upgrades on either? No, but we can make one of the drawers pretty quickly. So let's just use a drawer. It's easier. So this will have a drawer that is void upgraded for gravel. So let's just grab a little bit of gravel. We have a bunch right over here. Now this is something else we could do. We could start sifting gravel to get more diamonds as well. But I think the agrocraft is going to work just fine. So we just need our key. And do I not? It might be in... Right there it is. Cool. I found the drawer key. Cool. put that there, and perfect. So that works just fine, and that will give us sand. So we will send the sand out this side, and the sand will need to be compressed. So this is the last thing we're going to need to make 2 machines. We need to have the, what is it, compactors? What are they called? Compressors? Yeah, compressors, auto compressor. So we're gonna need 2 of these. So we're gonna need workbenches, crafting tables, whatever. I can never remember what they're actually called. Let's get like, sure, we'll get a few extra. Doesn't really matter. Again, we have a lot of resources coming in. It's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna get 2 of these. And here is the question, because this might be an issue. Can we? I don't remember if you can tell this to. We need something that's only going to do a 2x2, because we want to make sandstone, not compressed sand. So we might need to do something different, and that is kind of a pain. Compact. I mean, we could put a compacting drawer. You know what? That wouldn't actually be too bad. So we might keep those compressors, but let's get a compacting drawer. I know we have some. And let's grab just a little bit of sand. So we should be able to put this right here. And we don't want to put any void upgrades or anything on that. It doesn't make it. It makes. What if we put sandstone in it? Will that work? Because otherwise we need to make some sort of auto crafter. Probably a cyclic assembler would be the easiest thing. Nope. Dang. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to make a cyclic assembler. Not a big deal. Just is another machine that we need to make. So, do we have any other? Nope. Okay. So a cyclic, or let's see, there is cyclic assembler. That's not too bad, and that would work just fine. The other thing we could make, there is also the RF Tools has one that's a crafter. There's a couple of crafters. These would also work. And if this is cheaper, no, that requires a resonant machine frame. And the crafter from Ender.io I don't typically like. So I'd rather not use that. So we'll use the cyclic assembler. That will be fine. So it looks like we're going to need another machine frame. So that is 2 magma crucibles. One's for the redstone. One is for the ender pearls. And then the other things that we're going to need is the... so 2 magma crucibles, 1 fluid transposer, igneous extruder, and then the cyclic assembler. So this is where the cyclic assembler will be. And then what we can have, so that'll turn the sand into sandstone. And then this will need to go into other things. So we'll have the, we'll have to have some pipes here to send the sandstone into the fluid transposer. And then that will be just fine. So we could do something like this. So have this be the fluid transposer, have this be the magma crucible. We could have import bus on top, and then power everything on the back. I might make this another row, at least a little bit, so we can put power lines through everything. That'll be the easiest. That'll be the most streamlined. So we'll have the end stone here, and that goes into the automatic sieve. We'll put the fortune, and let's just do a stack on that and half a stack on the others. Actually, no. We need the hammerer first, and then the sieve. So hammerer goes first. That will turn the endstone into crushed endstone, and then we'll put that into the automatic sieve, which will then need to go into a compressor. And then we'll have a little bit of a cyclic thing with the hammer and the compressor. And then this will finally go into the actual, like, smeltery. And that's that. So I think that'll work just fine. And hopefully it will. We'll need some fanciness. We'll need some filters and stuff for the conduits and whatnot, but we just need to get some more flux ducts. Let's get like 30 of those, and I don't think we need the other auto compressor. So do we have the last machine frame? We do. So we have 5 machines. We're gonna need to upgrade them all. I will tell you guys what, I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick and get this all set up, and then I will bring you guys back in so that we can see it in action and go from there. So I will be right back. Alright, a little bit of crafting later, and we should have everything we need. So, this system begins with the igneous extruder. And presumably, we are going to be able to kind of put everything automatically. If not, we'll use our item conduits, but yeah, we can just do an output to here, and it should go in there. We'll see that soon enough. Now this is the first thing that's going to require power, so let's get that on the bar, and there we go. Cool. So next, so we get sand from this. The sand needs to be made into well, we get input and output like so. We need to go get a blueprint. I forgot about that part. We want the filter blueprint. Schematic, actually, I think is what they're called. Yeah, they're schematics. And that should not be difficult. It's just some paper and some lapis. So let's grab that and get that set up. Now, all of these machines are resonant level. I went ahead and upgraded them all. I haven't made the augments yet. We'll worry about that later. I'll deal with that later, because it's not super important to get it up and running or anything like that. So we need the schematics, and we're also going to need some filters, which filters, by the way, for Ender.io are really cheap. It's a hopper and some paper. So make one of those. And let's get the schematic. Now the schematic needs to be taught, so we are going to need some sand for this, but that's not a big deal. So let's get this set up. We'll put that in there. The schematic knows that it is for sand for a sandstone, and so that's all that needs. And this will go into a fluid transposer. And both of these will also need power. So you know, I should probably turn this back on. I had to turn it off because I was picking up stuff from crafting, but it's not that big of a deal. So these are going to need power, and this one's going to need an extra power thing because we're going to need a magma crucible on top of here. So this pushes everything to the side. Again, augments we will put if we need to, and then this will be insert on here and here, export there. So that should work just fine. This will be an import on the top, export out the bottom, and this will need an export bus. And this is going to be set to, you might have guessed, well, ender pearls. So we can make the resonant ender. So we're going to need an ender pearl, which we have quite a few. This system should bring in plenty. In worst case scenario, I will just kind of mess around with things. We can worry about that later if it's a problem later. So there is that. We'll put some acceleration cards in there so that it goes faster. And the only thing we need to make sure of is that we actually have enough channels, which we do there. Yeah, we barely have enough channels. I need to improve things pretty badly, but that should be something that we can pretty easily just go ahead and hook up, actually. And did I manage to make this perfect? So this should be getting device missing channel. Maybe not. So we have 4 over there. Okay, just got a channel, and it's putting ender pearls in there. Perfect. So that's what we want to see. Ender pearls will give us, is it 250 each? I believe it's 250. What is that thing? Relocator. Never heard of that. I've never messed around with the grab suite from Icy. It's an IC2 add-on. I've never messed around with it. So yeah, that gives us a quarter of a bucket. So not too bad. And then this will put the endstone in here to get crushed. And that's where we're going to start needing item conduits. So endstone goes in there. Extract always active. Insert. Easy enough. And then all of this stuff, by the way, is going to require power. And let's go ahead and torch things up. And like I said, I'll probably add another layer behind, just because. But let's see, this is going to go, how are we going to do this? So this puts the crushed endstone into the automatic sieve, which will sift it, and we'll get 2 things. We will get the platinum and Draconium ore chunks. So let's see, in crushed endstone. So crushed endstone will give us, yeah, Draconium and platinum, broken ore. Quite a bit of Draconium, a 7% chance is pretty good. So what we can do is just turn this to an in-out, extract on brown, always active, and this will be an insert on brown. So that's not too bad. And then that will turn everything into what we want. And I guess what we can do is just put this on a cycle as well with an insert extract on red, just because it's easiest. This is going to be the same, insert on red, extract on brown, always active. And let's see, this is going to give us a couple of different things. So it's first going to give us the broken ores. Those will get compressed into the gravels. The gravels will get taken out, hammered down into the next stage, which, let's just grab broken Draconium ore. Will get turned into gravel, which will then be hammered into crushed. The crushed will be combined into the ore sand, which will then be hammered into the Draconium powder, and then combined into the dust, which will then need to be once again hammered into the Draconium dust. So I guess what we could do is we could just put a filter on this, the extract, and blacklist 2 items, the Draconium dust and the platinum dust, once we have those. Which we have a couple of pieces, and Draconium, we have a couple of pieces of all this stuff. Is there any of the other? No. And for the time being, let's just put that into a chest, I guess. That should be simple enough. So we can just put... actually, how do we want to do this? Because we just tell it not to... We will need another filter unless we do something else. Is there a way to do this with one filter? Because what we're going to have is, if we want this to kind of cycle, we will need to... Yeah, we could do it another way if we had another... Basically put these two on a loop. One filter, and then everything else goes to the other one. But I think what we'll just do is go make another filter. Like I said, they're not that expensive. We'll need to put an empty blacklist on that. And then we can just put this here. Put this on insert brown. And then we'll put a whitelist on that for the Draconium dust and then the platinum. So that we can make one of these Draconium dusts, and then the platinum ore we'll get later. So we'll just need another filter. That's not too bad. It just requires a hopper and some paper. Nothing too awful. And that's all of the item conduits we're gonna need for the time being. And then this will go into... So this will be a whitelist. We'll have that whitelisted, and then eventually we'll put the other one. So all we need to do now is hook this up to power, and I guess let's just do it right here. And this should kick off once we get it some... Okay, so first of all, this should immediately kick off, and we should start filling this up with resin ender. Perfect. Now all we need is a bucket of water and lava, and that will give us everything else. So we just need a bucket of lava and water. Cool. Now the big thing with this though is that we are going to need to get some more channels over here. That's just going to be a matter of getting a little bit more dense cable to go out here to the split, or else putting some stuff on other things. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'll do that between episodes. It's not that big of a deal. And like I said, I can always increase production of all this stuff by increasing the speed of these machines. But we put lava and water. That is going to make a stack of cobblestone that then goes in here. The sand goes in here. Let's go ahead and start it off. It turns into resin ender. And then will this automatically feed? That's the only question. It does, and that gets crushed. And that's really, really fast. Yeah, we're going to want the augments. And eventually we will get the stuff that we need. So this is going to be using 1,000 RF per tick. That's 290. That's not that bad. And we can put some of the stuff in here, and then the Draconium dust. So basically all we have to do is wait for things to kind of do what they need to do. Let's get some augments. Put this stuff away. I'll keep the magma crucible on me. Like I said, I'm going to move this whole system down there. We can plug into the channels down there, and we'll just have the automation for all the Draconium stuff down there, just because it's going to be a little bit easier. There's more space to work with. And so if we want some of the augments, I was working on making some of them. So we're going to want what? 1, 2, 3, 3 sets. And we just need some bronze. Let's get like 100 of that. That is pretty quick. So 3 of those. 3 of these. We'll just need some pyrotheum. Let's just get 10 of that. And we're also going to need some cryothium. 6 is actually all that we need. So 1. Oh, we need more gold. chipsets, which we don't actually have. So let's get a stack of both of these, and we'll let that get started. Now, do we have the diamond chipsets? Because I never actually taught the system how to make those. Diamond, we have one. So we're also going to need... Let's get a stack of those as well, because why not? And we can go from there. So, at this point, I need to do some work, but we can at least upgrade some of these machines and see if we can't get a little bit of stuff. So this is kind of the big one we need to upgrade. I don't want 3 of those, I just want 1. You get 1, and you get 1. So here's the question. Have we gotten anything? We have platinum ore dust. Cool. So that can't be hammered. So actually, the only thing this needs to be blacklisted on... actually extracted... it wants to extract everything. This just needs to be... Actually, can this even go in here? Do we even need any filters? No, that cannot go in there. We just need to have a whitelist on this. So I only need 1 filter. And then this guy will need to be whitelisted as well. That's going to be a problem. So, actually, no, it's not. Because we can easily separate this. So all we need to do is let's get just a drawer for now. Let's go ahead and get a void upgrade. And this is actually going to be really easy because... do we have our key on us still? No, of course not. Did I put it back in here? I did. Okay. So the big thing with this is we can actually just go ahead and put the drawer right here. This is going to be insert on red and platinum ore dust. Perfect. So we just put a void upgrade on that, lock it, and that should be everything we need. So this will only accept draconium dust, and this will only accept platinum ore dust. Now the reason we had to do this is because of the channels, but that's not that big of a deal. So this is working just fine. We're getting some draconium dust fairly quickly, and the only thing left is just to make sure everything goes fast enough. This is probably going to be our bottleneck. We could probably just put a bunch of flint in there. I think we have a ton of flint. And I could always import bus it as well, just to kind of make it a little bit better. But that'll make it go slightly faster, I think. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter too much. If that's the bottleneck, who cares? We don't really need to go any faster with this. This goes fast enough with just 1 speed upgrade. Okay, so I don't think we need to make any more speed upgrades, to be honest. And this will make what we need. So, perfect. That system is completed. So this will give us the draconium we need to smelt up in our smeltery to make the awakened cores. Not the awakened cores, the awakened energy cores. Same difference. And that's that. So that is actually going to be it for today's episode. I am going to get all of the lovely diamond seeds planted and move this thing. And next time, we'll see where we're at with everything. We need to increase production here with the mass fab. But other than that, we are pretty good to go. So that's kind of the idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!